Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much once again joining me for tea time. Today we have a little bit of misty morning, and that is it. That zing, so good, so good. I hope you're joining me with your cup of tea, maybe a cup of coffee, whatever you like. Today is going to be another Starlink day. I told you that there was going to be a follow-up, and as I promised, there is. What do you think about that cup? Tea time, guys. That merch is in my store. Go check it out over at JCristina.com/store. Check it out. So today we're going to be looking at the ramifications, let's say, to gaming the system. I'm putting out a little bit of a warning to you guys. I'm giving you both sides of the story so then you could decide which way you go. Because I was looking at some of these videos on the YouTubes, and some of them they just blow smoke up your asses, guys. That's just how it is. I don't know why. They tell you that you can do this stuff, but they don't give you both sides of the story so that you can make an informed decision. And I hate that, right? You need to get both sides of the story and then decide if this is something for you. Now, if you don't know, yesterday I did a video called How to Get SpaceX Starlink Coverage Within like 13 days. Normally, in quotes, it takes almost a year. For me, it took me 8 months to get Starlink. So it takes a long time. And then once I did get Starlink, I needed to get the accessories. And you can't order the accessories until you get the actual service or the actual kit on the way to you. So then you have to wait another month or month and a half sometimes for the extra parts that you might need. Like for me, I needed to get a specific mount for the way the building is designed here, a short mount. Then I also had to get the Ethernet adapter because the Generation 2s do not come with an Ethernet port or an auxiliary port on the back of the router. And there was a couple of other things that I needed. So once again, we're talking months and months and months and months. For me, the total amount of time was almost a year by the time I was able to use this damn thing. And it is awesome. It is absolutely awesome, but there is a time frame involved, and some people are getting them quickly and some people are taking a year, and it has to do with congestion and how much or how many people are in a specific area and how many satellites or where are they located flying overhead, all right? So as we get more satellites, this might resolve the issue. But what I want to do is I want to read to you a small portion. I did some research on this last night, and I found in their TOS, or their terms of service over at SpaceX Starlink, a portion of it that I think really pertains to what we're talking about here, and we need to read it because it is that important. So let me read it to you real quick. Service portability. Now, if you don't know, that is what I call roaming, all right? Service portability. Secondary service locations. If the portability feature, portability in quotes, is available in your region, you may relocate your kit and access services at locations outside your registered service address on your account. Quote, secondary locations. Service at secondary locations will be best effort, and users may see slow speeds during times of network congestion. Bear that in mind. Starlink does not support in-motion or mobility services. Using the Starlink kit in motion will void your limited warranty of your kit. It continues with limitations and requirements. Starlink does not guarantee when or where portability will be available. Portability is dependent on many factors, including obtaining the necessary regulatory approvals. You acknowledge and agree that you are solely responsible for A, understanding and complying with all acceptable laws and regulations associated with your use of portability services and the kit, and B, stopping use of the portability service or kit if you are in an unsupported geographic location. At its sole discretion, Starlink may update the primary address registered on your account along with invoicing requirements if you use Starlink at a secondary location for an extended period of time. So there's a lot going on here that we need to, let's say, distill down. Starting out, Starlink does not guarantee where or when portability will be available. That was one of the questions I was getting yesterday. Is it available with me here? Is it not? I don't know. And the thing is you really don't know until you try it. There is no like portability switch, like the standby switch on your application for putting your router into standby. That doesn't exist. So they are slowly rolling this out. Also, even if it's working today, portability services remain as what they call, quote, best effort basis. So that doesn't mean that it's going to work. And that doesn't mean that they have to make it work. It might work, it might not. And especially if you roam into areas where it's heavily congested. I'll get into that in just a second. So what does this all mean? Right? In totality, what does it mean to you? Is this something that you should look into, gaming the system, or just going down a conventional route, putting your deposit and waiting? Well, we have to understand that people that are permanently residing in an area that you are roaming to, they are going to get priority access. That is very, very important to understand. Also, if there is network congestion in that area where you're roaming, remember, you will be throttled, whereas the people that have permanent addresses in that region or that cell or that service area will not be throttled. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, you may need to locate your dish or your setup to the address that you originally put into Starlink to check for availability to get the whole damn thing working. All right. Some people have said that it is a requirement. Some people said that they were able to get the thing working hundreds of miles away from that specific address. So your miles may vary here, but keep in mind that you might need to go to that location. Also, one of the questions that I got yesterday was the address that you put in for checking availability, is that the address that they're going to deliver the goods to, the Starlink setup to? And the answer to that is no. All right, you have three addresses. You have the availability check address, you have your shipping address, and you have your billing address, and all three of them can be different. So I hope that helps. So going back to the idea of can you register this or can you set it up in your location even though you put in a different address? Like I said, some people said yes, some people said no. But bear in mind, if the answer to that is no in your area and you can't set it up at your location, you're going to need to travel to the location where you got service. So my suggestion is to find a available service area that is at least close to you, drivable, 20, 30 miles away or something. You don't want it 400 or 500 miles away, and then you end up not being able to turn on your service. So you probably need about 30 to 60 minutes at that location. So you might want to bring a battery backup or some type of generator, or if you know someone there, or somehow be able to plug in and set up that dish to be able to get it to acquire a satellite and then download its revisions, its software updates, its firmware updates, and set you all up. At that point, you can pick the thing up and bring it back to your location, and you should be up and running. But remember, your system will be in roaming mode. That is one of the major issues here. So a couple of questions I have here, and a lot of you have also, is it right to get service when other folks are waiting months and months and months, or maybe a year patiently after giving their deposit? Is it right for you to do this and game the system? Also, if people move their coverage to an area that is already congested, will this further delay coverage for people that are trying to get service in that specific area? Once again, when Starlink looks at the coverage area or that cell and they see that there's even more congestion in there, is that going to slow down the release of additional packages to people in that area? I'm going to think probably so, but that is a question to ask. Also, roaming customers, we have to understand that they will be slowed down. No matter how you look at it, the permanent people or the people or customers in a specific area are going to get priority service. So if there is heavy congestion, heavy internet traffic, all right, the people that are roaming will be throttled. Also, what happens if Starlink decides to discontinue roaming altogether? And now you're in an area that you cannot have coverage in due to congestion or due to the number of links that are currently up there. Do they just shut down the people that are roaming in that area? Also, we do understand that people that go through this gaming, let's call it, of Starlink, their goal is to get a unit and then immediately try to change the permanent address of that unit to the address where they're going to be located. How about if Starlink says, no, we're not changing it today. We're not changing it tomorrow. Maybe we'll change it as soon as we have enough satellites available in your area. And now you're stuck on roaming for who knows how long. Something to consider. Also, are you content with being throttled? Are you using this service for business or some type of application where you need to have high-speed internet access? Is it okay that you're throttled and now your internet is going extremely slow during heavy usage periods? And then when we look a little deeper once again into the TOS, we notice that if you use the system on a vehicle, for example, and the motors are constantly moving as it's trying to track satellites, which they were never intended to do, they're not going to be covered. And now you'll blow out the unit and now you will not get another one. You will have to order another one. And how long is that going to take? I don't know. I really don't know. I do think that these are really good questions to ask, but I think all of these questions are moot coming in the not so distant future. Now, why do I say that? We know that SpaceX is going to be shooting up rockets continuously all through April and going forward for the entire year. They're looking at almost doubling the amount of satellites up there. That is a lot of satellites. And I think when we see a lot more version 1.5s and 2.0 Starlink satellites, which do have that laser communication, where they have this inter-satellite communication, being able to transfer data from satellite to satellite to satellite at the speed of light through lasers, I think this is going to speed up everything. This is going to increase speed. Number one, it's going to increase reliability. Number two, you also have the overall availability. The number of people that will have access will be greater also. And finally, you're going to get lower latency. So I think a lot of these questions, once again, will be moot in the not too distant future, especially at this breakneck speed that Elon is sending up these satellites, more and more and more. Now, I am in South Florida, so I see this all the time, and I think I might even do a trip over to SpaceX and maybe get some video right from a launch or something. I think that would be cool. Would you guys like that? I would like it. Anyways, in my personal opinion, I feel that if you are waiting for many, many months already for Starlink, and you've put in your $99 and it's been like 8 months or something, just wait. Don't try to use this loophole because, in my personal opinion, there's too many negative possibilities for using the loophole. That's my personal opinion. Now, on the other side of that is if you are a customer that doesn't intend to ever have a permanent address for the unit, and you're in an RV or you're moving from location to location to location all the time. Well, at that point, if you do not have a deposit already in there, gaming the system as of today may not be a bad option. That is, as long as they continue to not plug the hole. This loophole might only be around for another week, another 10 days, another month, or maybe forever. We really don't know. But in my personal opinion, I think that SpaceX is going to see the negative side effects of this happening, and they're going to plug the loophole. I don't know how they'll do it, but I just feel that they will. But we'll have to see what ends up coming to pass. And of course, as always, I will be reporting back to you about it. In my opinion, there's always a give and take. There's always a positive and negative. There has to be a balance, and that's what ends up happening here. Just make sure that you read the TOS, that terms of service. You can find them over at starlink.com. Check it out, and this way you'll know to either put your deposit in for $99 and then just simply wait in your specific area, or game the system as of today and get your unit, maybe, as I said in the last video, in 13 days. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have, and you gotten even a little bit out of it, please throw it a thumbs up. That would be awesome. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click this bell icon right here. So when I go live or when a new video comes out, you will be notified of it immediately. And when you click that bell, also click all, that you want to receive all notifications. This way, you actually get the notifications. YouTube. Anyways, guys, don't Don't forget to head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools I've invented for you and the merch. Go check it out, see what you see. Use promo code YT20 at checkout. And just for getting to the end of this video, you will get 20% off everything in your shopping cart. Everything. Once again, promo code YT20 at checkout. That's it, guys. I'm out of here for yet another vlog. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you in the next one. Love you all.